Hey, how are you guys? It's Mr. Bobbitt.
Good, great. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Pretty
Awesome.
good, man.
Now, Mike, you're a comedian, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Nice. And how long have you been doing that?
12 years.
Wow, that's impressive. Do you perform with a lot of people?
Yeah. That's the nice thing about being from the Midwest. You get to work with a lot of people as they come through town, and now I'm in LA, so you can't go anywhere without bumping into someone.
Yeah.
What are some of the bigger headliners that you've met?
First show I did out here, I did Comedy Bang Bang when it was still a live show with Louie.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool one.
He's amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask too.
And then,
I'm sorry.
like my heroes, got to work with Jimmy Pardo a couple of times, Mark Maron. Those are my two biggies.
That's awesome. That's like a dream, dude.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask too.
Pretty cool.
I didn't know if you did you know Jeff Dwoskin?
Yeah, I know Jeff.
We had him on a couple weeks ago. He was fucking funny, man.
Yeah, Jeff's a good guy.
And I also saw too in our followers, you follow Rock and Roll Cheeseburger. I didn't know if you knew those guys.
No, I don't.
Okay, because they're funny. They're a funny
Are
show.
they from Michigan, or where are they from?
They're in L.A. I think they're in California. I know that. I'm pretty sure L.A.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they do
Okay.
a podcast out there. Dan Lawler, Duncan Graham, and Tiku and Valerie Tossi. They're really funny. They're all comedians, bartenders, all that.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, there's so many people out here. There's a good chance that I've bumped into them and have completely forgotten. I think that's the downside of being in my 40s, that I can meet someone and then meet them again the next day for the first time.
I'm getting there, man. I'm 38, dude. I'm like, holy fuck. What happened? Where did life go? I'm still not really anywhere.
I know mine is living in New Orleans for a little while.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
where all my brain cells went.
I was gonna say you forget a lot. I do love your Twitter bio because that sums up my life too as well. Marginally famous, moderately successful, dirt poor, and incredibly happy. I agree with that, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking love that.
One of those things is a lie.
The last one.
Yeah. I'm happy enough that I'm not a casualty yet.
I was watching too. What was it? It was like a clip where it was an interview, and it kept showing your stand up. It was on your website, offthemic.com.
Oh yeah. It's like the 12-minute thing.
I loved it. Yes, I loved it, man.
Yeah, that really surprised me, because it was a friend of a cousin, or like a cousin's son, and he set it up, and I was just sort of like, yeah, okay, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Probably not a real thing. And then I completely forgot about it on the day of, and then they showed up. It was when I was at the Comedy Castle, which is like our A room in Michigan, and
Nice.
they showed up, and I was like, oh shit, I completely forgot. And then they taped it, and afterwards I was like, this turned out really well. I probably could have not been so dismissive.
Now it said you said in it that you started in radio and TV.
Right, yeah.
And how long?
Because I did that in my early 20s, so I burned every bridge because I had a giant ego.
All right.
I'm still at that point. I haven't grown up at all.
It's terrible. I started hunting bridges to destroy, to burn, and yeah.
Wow. What did you do in radio? Were you a personality or like behind the scenes?
Yeah, I in Detroit I did everything except for be on the air, and then I was let go because I was a board operator who decided to go on the air because another DJ said that the program director preferred when people would apologize as opposed to ask permission. So I went on the air one weekend and then apologized, gave him an air check tape, and said I'd really like to do this every weekend, and he let me go. And, so then I moved to New Orleans, and I was on the air until the radio station went country, and
Ooh, yeah.
there was another alternative station in New Orleans, and they wanted me, but they wanted me to dial it down to like, I would do a good 110%, and kind of crapping on the music because I was Mr. Punk Rock,
Nice.
and hated all the music that we played at the time, and I told them, I was like, I don't have to, I am who I am, and I'm not going to compromise who I am. So they said, okay, well, there's like 1 million people.
Yeah.
Like,
but I have respect for what you did, though, because I basically did the same thing. I worked at a radio station out here, and I basically did the same thing, man. Like, I just pushed it. I pushed it.
Did it work out better for you than it did
No,
for me?
no, it definitely didn't, but I fucking rocked. I did what I wanted to, and I got stories.
Right, yeah.
But I do like this, though, like the internet thing, because like there's nobody telling you what to do. You do have.
Oh,
we,
yeah.
We do get people pissed. We get people fucking threatening us and shit here and there, but then we deal with it.
Right.
And that's why I was going to ask you too.
Mine, it's weird. Like I gauge everything based on what albums came out. Like, I couldn't tell you the years, but I know that I worked in radio from Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, until Marilyn Manson, Antichrist Superstar.
Nice.
But it was before internet radio, and I think if I had that outlet, I probably would have done that.
Yeah.
As opposed to just get, drunk every night and manage the night shift of a Toys R Us and wallow in self-pity for years.
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed your Toys R Us story when you got fired from there.
I want to hear it. I didn't hear this. What's the Toys R Us story?
When I got fired from Toys R Us, I don't remember. I have a story about getting fired from Toys R Us.
I thought that's what you said. You announced the store closing. I thought that's what you said, and you just told people to get the fuck out or something.
Oh, yeah. Wow, I haven't thought about that in a long time. No, I didn't get fired for that.
Oh!
Yeah. That was the closest I could become to being on radio after burning all those bridges, was doing the announcing that the store was closed. And I would have fun with that. So.
Use a little couple liberties. Have you ever had anybody approach you after a show, like pissed off at something you said in your act?
Yeah.
Who were you talking?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm actually standing outside the ArcLight in Hollywood because I'm pretty cool. And no, I've had a lot of strange interactions with people after shows. You know what? I have to say the best interaction I just had. I just got off a USO tour, and the final interaction that I had with one of the Marines was, he said, hey, thanks for doing this. We need this because so many of us Marines are suicidal. And I said, yeah, same with us comedians. We're in good company.
How did he react to that?
Oh, he loved it.
Oh, okay. Because it's true, man. Comedians have some of the darkest sides to them, man. Like,
yeah, we're, it's a, what I think it is? I think it's the weird sleep schedule. It kind of affects us mentally sometimes.
Yeah.
And, depending on the type of comedy someone does, if, they're just constantly dwelling in, the harsher moments of their life instead of, getting through them, then it can make for maybe some psychological damage. I don't know. I'm fairly happy.
Yeah.
My parents did a pretty good job of raising me, and I don't have any uncles that diddled me or anything.
Yeah, we have those. We always talk about that on the show.
Yeah.
Camping trips.
If I have been molested, then I've properly blocked it out. One day I may see something that reminds me, like, an old Burger King logo in Florida, and I'll be like, I remember when Uncle Bill took my virginity.
He had onion ring breath at the time.
Right.
He told me he was going to give me a Whopper.
in all honesty, I have that weird thing where, like, anytime I watch, like, Tim and Eric,
I love them.
I always have, like, that weird feeling, like, if I watch it too much, it's going to, like, uncover a suppressed memory.
Yes. Yes.
Their skits come off like that.
Sinister about
Absolutely.
their comedy.
Oh my, yeah,
Tim
like
and Eric's.
all the old guys they have in the skits and just the shit it's like simple, retarded, but creepy at the same time. It's just
The one that Pete
Yeah.
showed me recently that I've watched like 3 times, and it always gives me that creepy feeling. It's Too Many Cooks.
I never saw that one.
Oh my
I've never
God.
seen that one.
You got to see Too Many Cooks.
Too Many Cooks is great.
My kids love Sit on You. You ever see the song Sit on You? And it's just, this is what I do. I sit on you. And it's a guy sitting on somebody's lap on the toilet bowl, and like somebody's like, I forget what else. But my kids love it. It's just such a simple song. It's hilarious, but it's creepy at the same time. And
Wow, that's yeah.
the other one.
Now I have Too Many Cooks stuck in my head.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to play it for Rob at the end of the show.
Oh, they have
He's
so
never seen
many,
it.
so many great.
Too
Yeah,
many.
there's-
And I love what did John C. Reilly do on their show? Dr. Stephen Brule. Holy
Yeah.
shit. He was creepy
Yeah.
too.
And then he was that guy Taquito in the movie.
Yes, that movie. That movie was fucked up.
I only eat the middle.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, just even thinking about them kind of makes my skin crawl.
Shrimp healing.
All that like 80s
I'm-
style, like fucking, I don't know what they did. The special effects, it's fucking whacked out.
Yeah, that's the era of television that I work into with, like, the bad wipes, you know, that they do on Tim and Eric. With
Their spray on tans. They're
Yeah.
fucking great.
yeah.
You've worked in TV too, right, Mike?
What's that?
You've worked in TV?
Yeah. I did, like, municipal access cable way back in the day.
Okay.
And but now I do what I call fast food television because the quality is about as good as fast food, and it pays about the same too. So
Just the access
I've done
channel. Just-
I've done those court shows, the Judge Judy
Oh.
coverage. I did. I'm on an episode of Judge Maybelline, who's famous from Tyler Perry movies.
Medea.
Yeah, and then I've done like every crime reenactment. You know, all those really horrible investigation discovery.
Nice.
things.
Lineups.
So, yeah, I played landlords and tornado survivors, a 9/11 survivor.
Oh, that's great.
Oh yeah, they're kind of the worst. I probably shouldn't crap all over them, but
Yeah, but
yeah, but you know, I'll be out $80.
that's more than we'd be at. We made 40 cents on YouTube last month.
Oh,
Yes.
all right.
Yeah, we're moving up.
That's 40 more bucks than I made.
Cents.
Oh, 10?
For 40 cents.
Oh, 40 cents.
47 cents. Rich.
Oh,
Richer.
yeah. I thought we're all supposed to get famous off the internet.
I thought so. That's what they told me when I started this. Fuck.
Right.
We do know how to get famous on the internet, though. We
Video
definitely
games?
could. Video games and just pissing people off.
Yes.
Piss people off.
Dude, yeah, we had one, it was a news story we covered, and we pissed off transgenders. It was a story of one that killed himself, and we just made fun of the name, basically. And in a day, it had like 500 views. People were just like 20 comments. That's our most viewed video at the point, you know, because they were
okay.
pissed at us. So
We had when we were in Japan, we had a really creepy bus driver in Okinawa that would just not even, you know, solicited, would just tell me and the other comedian, like, what you guys ought to do is just drive around and, you know, videotape the children on the playground and make, and, you know, say funny things over it. And one day out of the blue, he just came up to us and he was like, "No, I really don't like feminists." And I told him, I was like, I was actually born a woman. And he was like, "Okay, well, anyway, I love my mama." Even like it didn't even faze him. I think maybe I should be hurt that he was just like, maybe thinking like, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, but it just shows you like, to piss people off, they get you more views than a great interview you did with an author or something. Like it's fucked up.
It's like that quote from Private Parts about how many people listen.
Yes.
Or for what duration of time people listened who loved Howard versus hated Howard.
Yeah, and the ones that hated just listen to everything.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Man. That's it. And bad publicity is still publicity, man.
Yeah, most times.
Gets people talking.
Right.
What else? What else have we got kicked off? We ran ads with a website for free radio guests, and we got kicked off of them because I guess too many guests complained.
Yeah, we're degrading, and what was it?
Ooh,
I don't even remember.
I forget. Yeah, degrade and was it childish? Something along those lines. Sophomoric type, yeah, like, and yes, we are, but some of those guests sucked, and we had to get a half hour out of them.
Right, exactly.
And the only way was to fucking make fun of their fucking vacation to Antarctica.
The Burning Bridges tour across the internet.
Right.
That's it. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, it's always kind of strange when, I don't know, like, I've started listening to morning radio here, and, like sometimes there might be something on that I'm just like, not a big fan of that joke or whatever, but like I never think to actually write to a radio station or whatever and be like, how dare you say something that made me upset. And I worked with a comedian named Ian Edwards, who's super, super funny. He has the only comedy album that Conan O'Brien's company put out.
Wow.
And he's a great comedian. He wrote on Blackish, and he had a joke at the end of his act that I think was just there to try to piss people off. And sure enough, I think it was making fun of handicapped kids or something like that. And I could be totally wrong. I don't want to put words in his mouth. But, and he would just tell it for this exchange where, like, a woman came up to him and she was like, how dare you tell that joke? I have a son who's handicapped. And he would just say, oh, well, that's too bad. But it turns out that my joke didn't make your son any more handicapped.
I love that.
His words.
We did something along the same lines. We ran an ad for a different show. We thought it was going to be a great idea to do this show called Ron and Cheese, where people called us, and Ron was a retired special ed teacher, and Cheese was his borderline retarded co-host and life mate. And we ran this ad, and the first email I got was like, well, I have a son with the autism or Down syndrome, and I would just appreciate if you didn't call your co-host a retard.
Send us a website and everything too, like the rword.com.
Yes.
I don't know. I wouldn't, if that show was on NBC, I would watch it.
Yeah, right. It's a great show.
Yes, right. And accidentally, because this is how great I am, I booked the same guest for Ron and Cheese and Robin Slim. And we did the Ron and Cheese interview. And then when I was like, okay, maybe they didn't realize. Maybe they won't realize the phone number's the same. And I confirmed with them. And at first they were like, yeah, I'll definitely call you guys. And then the next day I got this email. I've had enough Ron and Cheese, and there was lawsuits and blah, blah, blah.
Fraud.
Yes. Lying liars.
That guy... we like ruined his career or something.
Yes,
we
cost him hours.
Hours.
He took hours to
prep for this
interview, and he charges like $300 an hour to consult with hobos, and he's losing his house. So we were responsible for that.
Yeah. 3 hours to prep for a show that doesn't even exist. Like, if you Google, nothing comes up. There's no videos. There's nothing.
I'm sure it was the same prep he did for any fucking interview he had.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of these guys are scam artists, so
I've been thinking that too, of how many people we've interviewed from that site that were just fake or just just trying to.
I think that one we had some Playboy bunny, and yes,
she was fake too. She was
even a couple of our friends looked at the supposed cover of the Playboy she was in, and they were like, "That's photoshopped. It doesn't even have a barcode on it." Like, come on.
Right.
And she was in some super big bad helicopter crash, and we asked her about it, and it was scary. It was scary, she said. Like, way to embellish, stupid. And then our intern asked some ridiculous questions about Hugh Hefner, and then all these internet trolls came after us.
Wow, yeah. When I moved out here, I had a roommate, and he dated he had a girl come out that was auditioning for Playboy, and they wanted to send her to Vegas for the weekend to just, party with some of the guys, and they're going to pay her like $1,000 a day or something like that. And my roommate was so into this girl, and I was like, you do know she's like blowing all the guys at Vegas, right? They just want her to like party and hang out. And I was like, not for $1,000, they don't.
No, exactly.
She's gonna come back with so much jizz in her tummy.
Oh, that's good. It's like my dad always says, you can't have a butt baby.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Do you have any other gig besides comedy, Mike? Do you have like any other job?
No. Acting in some
yes.
part television and writing. I moved out here to write.
Okay.
After 12 years on the road, I'm kind of done with it. Even though I'm still doing it, just because there's no money to be made in performing.
That's
in LA. So I'm still on the road until I get a writing job.
Wow.
And then I'll still perform at the handful of clubs that I really like, which is a handful. It's like 5 clubs. And
have you ever had a club try to screw you out of money, like try to stiff you?
Yeah, I had it happen really early on where I was still an opener, and it was just like a shit one-nighter in a hotel, and the owner he was like, I'm sorry, I don't have any money to pay you guys. So I just kind of followed the other guy's lead, and he's like, oh, that's cool, just mail it to us. And he never mailed it.
Nah.
And but the booking agent, I contacted the booking agent, and I was like, hey, this happened, and it was right before Christmas, and the booking agent actually sent me the money. And he's like, hey, if the guy ever pays, then, send it back. But if not, Merry Christmas. And I thought that was super cool because, booking agents would never do that.
No, yeah. When we talked to Bob Levy, and he said there was a club, they didn't pay him, and what he did was they had a glass case of T-shirts and merchandise, and he busted the fucking thing out, and he just stole all the fucking merchandise they had.
Right, but then you were stuck with like 30 Chuckle Hut T-shirts. What's that gonna do to you?
Yeah.
Write them off or like donate them to people for like a $2 write-off per shirt.
Yeah. Bring them to the Salvation Army.
Yeah. I did have there was right outside of Milwaukee there was a club, and it's just a horrible shithole, and they paid terribly, and then I did the math while I was there to figure out how much money I was making per show, and the venue didn't even have a sign out front, so I was making a joke about how hard it was to find the place. And I was like, I don't know what they're spending the money on, if they're not spending it on a sign, certainly not my pay. And then I would tell the audience how much I was making per show, and the guy got so mad that he called the hotel and canceled our rooms.
Wow.
While we were at the show, and I was with my ex-wife at the time, and she was diabetic, and they wouldn't let us into the room, and my ex-wife was like, my insulin's in the room, and finally let us in, and then we ended up driving back to Detroit from Milwaukee in the middle of the night because that little piece of shit.
Yeah. Wow.
And his club closed down. What a surprise.
We got a lot.
Thank you, Mike. You've been amazing. We actually have to wrap this up, but can you tell everybody where to find you?
Yeah, just go to offthemic.com, or the Twitter is @offthemic, and my Facebook is offthemic. It's the only thing I've done well in comedy is branding myself under one thing.
Yes, and it's off the mic, MIKE.com.
Yeah, I think if you go to MIC, you'll find some weird Japanese porno.
Nice. I'm going there right now.
Cool.
All right, thank you so much, brother.
Cool, thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks for coming on.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, we're going on break. We will have
We'll be back.
Mundane Productions on next.
Yes, and they confirmed.
Cool. All right, we'll be back.